Now we're recording. Yes, now I see you. Yes. Okay, here we go, you guys. Hi, Kay. Yeah, I got up this morning thinking it was Sunday morning. And my little grandkids were out here doing their schoolwork and playing games. And they go, I thought you had your class, or it's Monday. And I thought it was Sunday. Anyway, I'm on location. The point is, yeah, I'm in this is the outside, and I think you can see me. And see this chair? It's pretty sturdy, but it's not like a normal kitchen chair, but I'm going to use it as my sit down. Okay? So wherever you're at, whatever chair you're using, get right in front of it, because you can do so much if you have a chair. And you know what? If it's a little bit lower, great. Use the side arms if you can, but use it. So I'm starting with what I've got here. A lower chair, and I might have to go a little slower. And I might have to use my arms in different ways. But I'm starting slower. And I hope you're doing this with me right now at your own kitchen chair. But I'm telling you, a little bit lower of a chair, maybe 2 inches lower. I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 inches lower. It takes more effort. And so often, do this with me, so often, what do? We just go, oh, that chair is way too low for me, and you avoid it. I'm going to encourage you to use the arms, to use a railing, to use a wall, and go ahead and slow down. Just stay with me. And as I go through this, here's what I'm doing. Here's what's going in my head. I'm hip hinging. I'm dropping my shoulders. And I'm coming, when I go to this level, I've got to shift to my heels on purpose, or it ain't going to happen. When you go to get up, at first, if you don't use your hands, you're going to bring them out like this. See? It's not momentum. Or I'm going to use my hands here. So if your knee or your hip that's replaced or is bothering you, use your hands. Push. But then shift to the heels and come up. And now you squeeze in, and now you squeeze in, and now you drop, and now you breathe. It's those 3 or 4 things to prep for this. Here's what I won't do. You won't see me doing this rocking in order to get momentum. I'll bet you many of your friends, and maybe you, me, if I don't think about it, you do that kind of a thing. I'm encouraging you, don't do it. Don't get into that habit. If you want to do a progression to get these stronger, first of all, again, use the arms on the chair. This is a much lower chair than a normal kitchen chair. It's harder, more challenging. So if you're in a normal kitchen chair, we can go through that litany of lining yourself up and just go slow. You don't have to go fast. Just do it. Keep your chin tucked. Keep pushing into the heels. Stay with me. And yeah, I'm doing several, but a slower pace. Because why? Because I don't, I want to move through a range of movements for my ankles, my feet, my knees, my hips, my shoulders, my back. And I'm not going to use momentum, meaning that rocking motion. Breath. As you come down, you shift into the heels, you come down. Use the arms if you need to. Keep your shoulders down, take a breath. I hope you're doing these right with me, because I'm doing several as a warm up to catapult us into our class. Okay, and I'm telling you what I'm doing right now. Repeated hip hinging, repeated load of the quads, repeated deep breaths through your nose. Hi, everybody coming on. Yeah, we're on location. I found a corner here. But as I repeat this motion, the sit to stand, and I've been using my hands out here, which is an acceptable modification. I'll tell you what's not acceptable. I already told you. Momentum, rocking in order to get grandma out of the chair. Not acceptable. Use your hands here, drop your shoulders, put them out here. Breath, push into the heels as you start to come here. Don't do this quick jerk thing. That's what gets people into trouble. These muscles can do it. You just have to shift. And if you have to, if you can't use your hands here, you put them here. See, it's a V. And you come in here. You either go out here, you come in here, you come here. Or you grab something as an assist. Then I come up, but I don't do that rocking. I want you to use your muscles. Breath. I got about 5 more to do right now. Okay. I'm keeping count of them, Kathy. She's probably wanting to tell me how many we're doing. I know. I'm trying to approach 30. That's what I'm trying to do. Just so you know. Okay. So I'm here to tell you, the research is out. This motion that I'm doing right now with you actually has more power to take care of your spikes in glucose than just walking around and walking for a set amount of minutes. Now, do I mean don't do that? No, that's not what I mean. I'm saying if you're doing this with me right now and you've done every one of them, okay, 2 more. You have just set yourself up to have a much better metabolic profile. Because why? Because you're doing strength work for your legs. That's why. Okay. Now, after I've done that, I'm just going to step forward, and yeah, I'm barefooted. It doesn't mean you have to be. It's a good floor. I can be barefooted, and I had limited amount of space to bring lots of shoes. So now I'm just stepping forward, but I want to take my hands back. Okay. Now I say, well, why do you do that? I'm going to step forward. I'm going to make sure my toes are pointing forward. Let me come over here because I don't want to see my feet. Okay, right now. So I'm stepping forward. My toes are forward. I'm going to bring those hands back. And as I step forward with my toes forward, I'm opening this over here, this leg, the flexors, okay? I'm putting great load here and here. This is putting on my stops. This is putting on my brakes, or I would fall over on my nose. Then I put my hands back here. I keep my chin tucked, and I pull up as I squeeze my shoulders together. And why am I having you pull your hands up here? Squeeze your shoulders together as you press them down, because Kay needs to do it. That's why. Got you, Kay. Okay, keep going. Just hold it right here. See, I'm using a holding pattern. So I'm using different techniques that I've introduced many times before. Okay, just press up and just come forward. Don't move your feet. Don't move your feet. Drop your shoulders. Take a big deep breath through your nose. Take a deep breath through your nose. You'll have it. Breath through your nose. Okay. Now bend the knee again. Do not turn those toes out. If you need to put your hand on a chair, on a wall, with a pillow, whatever, but don't move those feet. Okay, see how I'm pushing forward here? Do you see how I'm pushing forward? My knee doesn't go way out over my toe, but I'm stepped way wide, okay? Big wide step, and I'm pressing forward as if to get the knee in line with the toe. That calls forth tremendous muscle through here. For any of us with hips replaced, wow, is this a good technique to load and get stronger through here, okay? Drop your shoulders, stay right there, and then just do little tiny pulses. So you're pulsing the knee toward the big toe, knee toward the big toe, knee toward the big toe. Stay with me. Knee toward the big toe. 2 more. Knee toward the big toe. 1 more. Knee toward the big toe. Now come back. Scoot the legs in and up to get to standing. Now turn that toe out because you just create a lot of tension. See, I'm going to turn the toe out. It totally releases it right there. So what I'm trying to do is to show you how to use your body weight in order to achieve load, purposeful load in and around your joints, sparing the joint. Okay, bring that back. Okay, drop your shoulders. Now, put your hands back here. Okay, see? Like you're gonna clap them, but you're not. Feet are shoulder width apart. Knees are soft. Drop your shoulders. Come back here and act like you're gonna clap your hands. Yeah, just pull them back that far. You know, just doing that encourages you to get yourself lined up so that you're opening at your shoulders. So drop your chin. Your head come out a little bit, but I want to keep your chin in. Soften up your knees. Breath, 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 breath. See, I'm just getting your shoulders ready for the next move. See, I'm doing these little tapping, keeping my shoulders down, keeping my shoulders in. And if you can't quite touch your hands, you're just going like this. Yeah, just like that. Because that gets these all open. It gets them all working together, okay? Now switch your legs. Are you ready? So now this leg is gonna go back. This leg is gonna go up. Now the minute that you take your leg back, unless you're holding on to something, see I'm weaving all over, because it's a balance work as well. That's why I don't want you to get discouraged doing this. That's why I want you to put your hand on a wall, on a chair. See, I could do back here and put my hand on a chair, but I'm trying to get you to see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna look at my toes, look at my feet. If you are losing balance, widen up between your legs, your feet, okay? Don't turn the toes. Okay, that's a rule. All right, now you're really opening here. This is my knee replaced side. This is my hip replaced side. So my goal in the getting you into this, and I tried to do about 30 to prep you for this, sit to stands. We just did it, okay? See what I'm doing? See what I'm doing? Now I'm gonna pulse that knee over the toe. I'm way out here, and then I'm gonna drop my shoulders as I'm pulsing forward with the knee right here. Tight tummy, drop shoulders, breath. We're gonna bring those hands up. Yeah, drop your shoulders, bring the hands up, and as you bring the hands up, now as you're pulsing the knee toward the toe, you're squeezing the shoulder blades like you're trying to put your thumbs together, and you're pulsing. See, I'm just pulsing a little tiny bit. Big breath, pulse. Pull the shoulders together. So, here's the deal. I can guarantee you that I might do a few moves, which I do pretty much every morning, a few things, not super hard, moving. If I didn't meet you all this morning online right now and going through this, because I need to do it, I probably wouldn't do nearly as this much. I might have done 15 sit-to-stands. You get my drift, right? Do you see what I'm doing with this front knee? The back leg is straight. Pull the shoulders in and down. And you're doing this hopefully by a wall, a counter, a bed, so that you can lean into it if you need to. See how I'm pulsing? I can tell you now on this hip replace side, I'm starting to feel that deep muscle work from the gluteal all the way to the quad and the hamstrings as I pulse in toward that big toe. I'm pulse my thumbs together, pull my shoulders down, take a big breath, couple more. It's getting much more intense now. On the outside, the muscles, not the joint, the muscles. And it's hard for us to get into and really work those muscles, which we have to do around that joint that has been replaced. Okay, I'm going to do 3 more. Stay with me. Stay with me. 1 more. Stay with me. Okay, so now you got to come out of it. So you just take little tiny steps in and out, and then you turn that toe out. Totally releases. Yay. Works really good. Okay. Now, I'm using body weight primarily. So what am I going to do? I'm going to stand right here, put my hand on my little chair. Okay. I'll turn it a little bit so I can be more even to the camera. Okay. Now, I'm going to bring that knee up. Okay. So I've covered 3 distinct moves. That is so important that, you know what? If you would go back and do just these 3 moves, another set of them, maybe even 2 times, then walk out and do whatever you got to do. I'm telling you, you'd be further ahead of the curve than most. So here we go. First move was the sit to stand. Stay with me. I'm just showing you. We did sit to stands, and I did you a lot of precautions of how to do it right. Then I did a backward stepped lunge, and now I'm doing a knee up. See this? I'm standing on one leg. Yeah, knee is soft right here. See that? Then all I'm going to do is bring it over a little bit and come back. Then I'm going to bring it open and I'm going to come back. All the while, this supporting leg, the knee is bent. Okay. So if I were there, I would check to make sure your ear is over your shoulder, shoulder is over your hip bone. Yeah, and that your knee is soft. So here we go. Bring that leg up again. I let you rest. Okay. I'm bringing it up past 90-degree right here. I'm going to go out. I'm going to come in. I'm going to go over to the side. And I have my finger, my index finger on the chair so that I don't depend on the chair very much. A little, because I want you to do the work. And if you're fighting for balance, then you don't do this work. Okay? So you don't overly use it though. All right? Take a big breath and come back in. You should start feeling some big time sensations. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to do the other side. So I'm going to go here because that's the way I can put my finger on the chair. You can check to see. Okay. Drop your shoulders. Big breath. Soften up the knee. Bring the leg up. All the way up as far as you can. And you're going to go out to the center. And then you're going to close. And you're going to come into the midline. And then you're going to go into the center and out. Stay with me. Take a breath. And then go in. And then center and go out. Take a breath. So I can tell you that for me, as I'm doing this work, it's a single leg stance. I have a little hold here. And this side, so I'm feeling it, feeling it, feeling it. But this hip replace side got tired much quicker than my knee replace side. Go figure. Okay, now I'm gonna come back to my chair and I'm gonna recap. I'm not gonna do them, I'm just gonna tell you. We did about 30 sit to stands, almost, okay? We did a step back lunge and pulsed. We did single leg stances with minimal help, right? In and out. Now we're gonna dress right back down through here. Starts from the back, shoulders, all the way down. Here's the seat of the chair. I'm gonna put my hands in the seat of the chair. I'm gonna just take one leg back. I can bring my hands here if I want to. Okay, so use your chair however. So now you're on a knee forward position here. You're gonna put your toe back there. Then you're gonna squeeze that butt. Your elbows are soft, your chin is tucked. Now, do those circles with your ankle, then do dorsiflex, plantar flex. Then with your heel, tighten your tummy, drop your shoulders, breath, and you bring that heel up with a straight leg. And you pulse right up there. You come down and up into a pulse. You're not flinging it, you're not jerking it, you're not bouncing it. It's a pulse right there. This knee is soft. Take a breath, 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 and bring it back in, okay? Bend the knees, come back up. Take your hands, point the thumb back, soften your knees, drop your shoulders, and here you go. Open those shoulders, open them, open them, open them, open them, open them, and come back in. Take your shoulders to your ears, because we got the other leg to do, and drop them down. Shoulders, drop them down. Shoulders, drop them down. Shoulders, drop them down. Okay, switch to the other leg. So I'm gonna put my foot here, soften my knee, hands on the chair, however is most comfortable. You're going to step back, drop your shoulders, step back, and before you release this back foot, you got to tighten that tummy. Then you got to tighten the butt. Drop your shoulders, breath, and lift. You're gonna come up, you're gonna circle with your ankles. Circle, circle, circle. You can do as many as you want. Go 3 or 5 one way, 3 or 5 the other. Then you're gonna go point, flex, point, flex. Now you're gonna squeeze the gluteal and lift, and then lift. So now you're doing little flicks, little pulses. See that? Keep dropping your shoulders, drop your chin, big breath, squeeze, squeeze. Gotta squeeze the gluteal, okay? Keep squeezing, keep this leg soft. Breath, squeeze the gluteal, squeeze the gluteal, squeeze it. 2 more, 2 more. 1 more, 1 more. Good. Step right in there. And press back. So now we did that leg lift back. Now we're gonna do little froggy squats. Okay, so I'm going through some of the 6 major moves that we need to always do. You don't have to do them fast. Just go through the motions. If you can do 2 or 3 one day and do a set of 2 or 3, that's great. That's what you want to try to do. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go into a deeper squat. If you don't want to do a deeper squat, fine. Just go halfway. Use your hands like this, but you're shifting. See, every time I do this, when I go from standing, drop my shoulders, breath, I shift from my heel. As I go into the down position, I'm going into the heels. Keep your chin tucked, 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 tucked. and then come back up, 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 and you go to the toes. The reason why this simple move, some people call it a froggy squat, some people call it a weight training squat. You know, some people can call it a go down and pick up potatoes squat, whatever, okay? Go to the John squat. I don't care how you call it. You got to be able to keep doing it. I have to keep doing it, or we're going to have a very hard time keeping our independence. So every time I go into this, my chin is tucking. I'm breathing. I'm wider than shoulders. My toes are pretty straight, a little out. But now you shift and you do a hip hinge. This is a hip hinge, but I want you to get lower than a hip hinge. Keep your chin tucked. Go down, go to the heels, go to the heels, go to the heels. You're coming all the way down here and try to pat the floor. Don't bring your knees in, okay? Now go to the heels, heels, shove yourself up. Now squeeze your gluteals. That's how you do a deeper squat, okay? You don't ever put your head lower than your hips, okay? A lot of people think they're doing this and they're doing this and they don't realize it. That's not what we want to do. Okay, drop my shoulders. Now I found that gallon jug. I put water in it. I'm going to do that in just a minute. You don't have something like that, which all of you have weights. And so when I pick up that one, I'll invite you to pick up your weight, unless you want to have it on right now. That's fine. If you have a weight vest, great. Keep it on during this. But make darn sure that you are lining up. And when you go down, those knees stay over the toes. Right here. Okay, drop the butt. Pat the floor. Just get down so you can pat the floor. And then shift, heels, and come up. Boom. And then the hands rotate. Why? Because I want to open here every time I come up. I want to open. Drop the shoulders. Soften up the knees. Breath. And push the butt back. Then you come back in. You're pushing the butt back. You're shifting to the heels. The toes are almost coming off the ground. Okay, come right on down. Drop your butt. Drop your butt. Pat the ground. Pat the ground. Pat the ground. Stay down there. Keep the knees open. Now come up through the heels. Push, push, push. Squeeze. Open. Yes. I'm going to do 3 more just like that. Do every one of them with me to the best as you can. So I'm going to hip hinge. I'm going to start coming in. Keep my chin tucked. Breath. Shift to the heels. Come down, 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 down. Don't let those knees come in. Keep them open. You're going to pat the ground, pat the ground, pat the ground. Shift to the heels. Breath. Come back up. Open the shoulders. Thumbs are pointing back. Take a big breath. Some of you might notice that I'm breathing a little deeper. Well, there's not much air up here. So we're way up in the mountains and it does affect you. And that's the reason why so many people quit doing stuff. When they go on vacation, oh, I'm so breathless. Just do things a little slower, okay? Number 1. Number 2, make sure you're doing your walks, your bike rides, your dancing, swimming, and keep as fit as you can that way. Here we go. Ready? 2 more. I gave you a break. Okay, push. I gave me a break. Okay, keep those legs out. Down, heels, heels, heels. Come on down, come on down, come on down. Pat the ground. Just pat the ground. Make sure your head and chest are not lower than your butt. Now go into the heels. Come up, come up, come up. Pull those thumbs out. Squeeze the gluteal. Both. Squeeze them. Yeah. Breath. One more time. Here we go. All the way down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Drop that butt as far as you can. That's about it for me because this knee will limit my motion there. Okay, come back up, come back up, come back up. Pull those thumbs out. Yeah, just like that. Okay, take a big deep breath. Come in, come out. Take a breath, in and out. Don't turn those toes. Do not turn those toes. Do not stiffen your knee. It's a soft knee. And you do a tiny bit of a hip hinge. And then you come up. And when you're standing up, you squeeze the butt. As a matter of fact, many of you who are walking, I know Nancy gets out there and walks. I don't know if Tita's on today. Some of you walk, you know, on purpose. When you're walking on purpose, do what I call tight walking. So that means when you take a step, right now, you tighten your gluteal as if somebody was heading at you with a shot. I know you're not supposed to tighten it. I have some nurses, I think, on here, but I'm telling you, when you step, soften the knee. So we're going side to side, but the minute you step, you tighten your gluteal before your weight comes on. That's tightened. Now we step, we tighten. We step, we tighten. That's tight walking. And you can do, you might have to slow down a little bit, but here's the deal. When you do this on purpose walking and you take a step, right there is when you tighten, because you have to loosen. And then you take a step. Now right there, when you're putting your weight on your foot, you tighten the gluteal. Why do you do this? Because we are desperate to keep our gluteal functioning. And in order to do that, you got to on purpose tighten it. So that's tight walking. That's a technique. Okay. I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah, everybody came on a little bit. I'm trying to see what time it is because I didn't bring my phone out here. Okay, we're doing good. Okay. All right. So here's my jug. So what did I do? I've done this before. I've looked around. I could have got some skillets upstairs. But I didn't want to wash them. So I got a jug. So why do I do this? Because I want to add a little weight to what I'm trying to manage. Okay. So this is 10 pounds. So you've got a 9 and you've got 12. So pick up a 9 or a 12 or more. It's up to you. And this hasn't got a handle on it. That's why I like the ones I have at home. It has a handle on it, like a kettlebell. Well, this is just a jug. Okay. So I'm walking now. I'm doing tight walking forward and backward as I just added 10 pounds to my frame. Okay. So as I do that, I'm going to hang on here now. I'm going to take a wider stance and I'm going to bend my knees and I'm just going to take my body weight and this 10 pounds and I'm just going to do little mini pushes. So I'm pushing up onto the toe, lifting my heels, staying on balance. And what's the trick to stay on balance when you go into your toes? You got to bend the knees. You got to soften them. Yeah. So here we go. Here's my 10 pounds right here. So use your weight right here. Take a big breath, go into the toe box, lift those heels. And then I'm just going to push with my elbows in. My elbows are in and I'm just taking it up to my eyebrow. That's it. So I'm coming up and back, going into the toe box and back down, into the toe box and back down. Breath, 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 breath. It just comes right up here. Keep your elbows in. Don't flare them. Not right now. Take a breath. Go into the toe box. Into the toe box. Lift the heels off the ground. Breath, 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 breath. Just 3 more. Just 3 more. Stay with me. One more. Then step forward. Then bring that weight right so that it's resting on the forehead. Look at my elbows. Do you see that? Then bring it back down, all the way down. Bring it back up and up to the forehead. No higher, no higher. And then down, all the way down. And then breath. Drop my shoulders. Big breath. Exhale, and up, and back down, and back down. I'm in a split stance here. Drop my shoulders. Breath all the way up, and back down, and up, and back down. One more, and back down, okay? Step back, hang on to it, just like you're holding a log right here in front of you. See that? See that? I'm gonna step the other one forward in just a second, but I'm gonna turn here. So I put right in my tummy. I'm gonna just turn, just from my, I'm not moving my feet, not moving my feet. I'm turning right around. I'm taking my shoulders right at the waistline. I'm turning. Don't lift your feet. Don't lift your feet. Okay, I'm not pivoting right now. I'm just turning. Okay, now I'm going to take the other leg back. Split stance, doesn't have to be real far. And when you add weight to a split stance, you're putting yourself in a out of balance situation. Okay, on purpose. So soften up the knees. I'm going to bring this 10-pound weight right here. I'm going to bring my elbows in. I'm going to bring it right here to the forehead. And then I'm going to sweep down. When I sweep down, I have to keep my shoulders down. Okay. I have to bend those knees. Breath. Bring it right up here. Swing her down just like that. Drop your shoulders. Here we go. Pull right up here and bring her down. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Bring it up and back down, right up to the forehead. Not much higher than the forehead. See, bring the elbows in and then sweep down. Open the arms. Then come up. Push. Keep those knees soft. Come all the way down. Pull up. Press it right there on the forehead. Get your elbows in. Just two more. Just two more. Stay with me. Right there. Breath. One more. One more. Here we go. Right there. Breath. And bring it down. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna put that down. So, yeah, I can do a whole bunch of stuff with just that poundage of weight. It would be really good. So, I'm gonna use my chair again. And I've told you this one is soft and it's much lower than a normal kitchen chair. A couple of inches lower, and then I sink down further. So, those kind of chairs we tend to start avoiding. And I'm going to say, and I want you to learn techniques of how to get out of there without grunting and groaning. Use this, put your hand on the wall, get right up into here, or bring your arms out, okay? Now, we'll get up in just a second. So I just wanted to go over that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my hands on the seat or on my chair. And I'm going to step out and I'm going to hold myself, suspend myself over my chair. I'm going to drop my butt to the chair and then lift it back up. So right here, drop your shoulders. When you swing your butt up here, you got to tighten those gluteals again. Swing it back down and swing it back up. See that? So you just go down a little bit. And then you push and you come right up here. You squeeze. And you just hang out there for a second. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Step out, step out. Step in, step in. Step out, step out. So you're using your shoulders. You're working your quads. You're working your hamstring more. You drop down. You push up. Hang out here. Drop your shoulders. Then go back and sit down. Help yourself down. Okay, we don't just plop down. Now, you go wide. So, how do you get yourself up out of a very soft seat, a couch, whatever? We've all found ourselves there. And sometimes it is impossible, you know, because you're, how am I going to get out of here? So, again, if you have arms of the chair, use that. Drop your shoulders. That's a big deal. If you don't have that, if you've been doing this class and been really doing your sit to stand, you have enough muscle. You just have to master the mechanics. So if it's a higher chair, you put your hands right here in a V and you use that as your assist. But if you're lower and that doesn't help, put your hands out. Don't use momentum. Take a breath. Push into the heels and come up. Yay. I'm gonna do that 3 times. Stay with me. Push back. And if you have a couch, this is a good time to practice these mechanics. A lot of times we can't get up because we don't use good mechanics. Okay, we have the strength. Okay, breath. I'm gonna put my hands out because I'm so low that it doesn't help to put my hands here. Breath, lift, and you're up. One more. All the way down. Hold as you're going down. Drop your shoulders. Are you ready? Breath, exhale into the heels and you're up. Yay. Okay. Hands. Bring those hands out. We haven't done this in a while, but when you're doing body weight and you're thinking, I got to do something to help my shoulder, it's hurting, you got to do these. This is where you got to start, okay? Now, I'm going to do this with my legs while I'm doing this. See this? All I'm doing is bending my knee. That's all I'm doing, is I'm just coming up and back, up and back, up and back. That's all I'm doing. See? Treading water. You bend your knee. You don't sway necessarily. All you do is bend one knee, straighten one knee. See, you're just doing that. Okay, so get that going. Breaths, just like this, just like this. Take your hands. If you have a shoulder that's giving you fits, don't go all the way up here. Go here, okay? Soften your elbows if you need to. You will get to where you can go all the way up here with a straight arm, okay? But this is acceptable. Then you start. So my thumb is pointing forward and that's the way I'm going. While I'm pressing into the toe box, into the heel. See that? And I'm trusting that Kathy's counting. I'm trying to, Kathy, I think we're in the first 10 and we're gonna do 30. You take a break when you need to. But do you see what I'm doing? My thumb is forward. Arms are very straight. My shoulders down. Breathing through my nose. Yeah, I think I'm probably into 15. And I'm heading toward 30. And every time that my heel goes down, I squeeze my gluteal. Yes. Why? Because that makes me use more sugar. It makes me use more energy by squeezing that muscle.
31.
And, oh,
32.
I knew she would catch me. I was trying to do really good, Kathy. Okay, put your hands down, shake out. She got me. But we did our 30, but now we're going to do a 30 more. So before we do it, we just do this, okay? Anyway, what I'm trying to do this morning is show you little nuances of how to get more out of a body weight loading. Just things to load our muscles or joints and not hurt our joints. Okay, you ready? Are you, so I would say, enough rest. We're ready to go. Hands go up, palms are up, thumbs are back, right? So I'm gonna start my legs. I'm gonna pick my distance. And don't be surprised if you go like this and you bring those arms up, that may be too much, okay? Depending on your shoulder issue. All right, so tighten in on the tummy and start the legs. And every time the heel goes down, what tightens? Gluteal, yes. Tighten, yes. Here we go, drop our shoulders. All right, now I'm starting, Kathy. So I don't go way up high, all right? But I keep telling myself, shoulders down, breathe, keep shifting, and keep pushing your thumb back. as you keep your arms pretty straight. If you need to go lower, that's perfectly fine. But I'm telling you, you really should hold off on trying to do some things, including like push-ups, unless you can do 30 of these with palms down, palms up. Take a breath. You got to get to where you can do 30 of these, and it'd be pretty easy, okay? Because when we near 30 and up with palms up, it's going to push us, okay? You should be feeling it. Take a breath. And I think we're past 10, maybe.
31.
Oh, that's 31.
And we started while you were talking with your arms up. I caught that too.
But I said I'm starting now. Too funny. Okay, put them down here. Shake out, shake out, shake out. You got it? Now, last move before we start heading off. Here's the thing. I told you the other day, if you wanted to do something to help yourself with your balance, how many times have you been somewhere and you had your shoes, a boot, whatever, that you needed to put your foot into? And you're like, oh man, I'm gonna fall. I know. Well, this is how you practice that. I'm using the chair so you can see my feet. You can use a wall. You could use a pole. A pole wouldn't be so easy because this way I can come here and I can come here. See? So if you have a wall, that's what you want to do. So here's the deal. You're standing up and you're going to try to put your foot in the shoe. So you go to this side and try to shove it in. And then you go to this side and you try to shove it in. See that? And you can put your toe down once in a while if you think you're really heading south. But drop your shoulders, breath, tighten, act like you have your socks on or you don't, or you just have some shoes there. Sometimes it's a slide, that's easy. Pretend it's not a slide shoe. So bend the knee, drop my shoulders. This is here if I need it, or a wall. Bring the foot up and try to go over on the other side and shove the foot in, and then come over to this side and try to shove your foot in. Keep this knee soft. Breath. So just the act of crossing midline and then coming back and holding your balance. And try with an actual shoe. If you would do this little skill just once a day with a real shoe where you're trying to put it in there without using your other hand. Sometimes it's impossible. Use this if you need to, but do this. See how I'm shoving it back in? This knee is soft. See that? Yeah, that is a great practice skill because it accomplishes so many things, especially one-legged stances, okay? You want to try to get to where you can do one-legged stance for at least 15 seconds, if not 30, and not go all over the place. You can train that. You really can. Okay, last one. My hands are here on the edge of the chair. It could be on a wall, whatever. And I'm just going to push back. And I'm going to come down with my elbows on my chair, and then I'm going to straighten my legs. I'm just going to straighten those legs. And I'm going to bring my chest right in as far as I can. Okay? Then when I'm ready to come out of this, I'll bend my knees and I'll come up. So you bend your knees going down. You bring the chest, the head into a straight leg. You stretch these, you pull your toes up, and you're feeling that stretch all the way up. And then you put your toes down, and then you bend your knees, and you come up the way I showed you how to come up, okay? All right, shake out, take a big breath. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's the air is much thinner up here. Let me pull this off. Ugh, stop, and stop.